Hello from Father Ivano, good morning. I'm doing this recording earlier on today, Saturday, as I need to travel this afternoon and visit a community, a neo-catechumenal community. I will proclaim this Gospel from the Gospel according to Mark. Jesus said to his disciples, "In those days, after the time of distress, the sun will be darkened, the moon will lose its brightness, the stars will come falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Then, too, he will send the angels to gather his chosen from the four winds, from the ends of the world to the ends of heaven. Take the fig tree as a parable. As soon as its twigs grow supple and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. So with you. When you see these things happening, know that He is near, at the very gates. I tell you solemnly, before this generation has passed away, all these things will have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But as for that day or hour, nobody knows it, neither the angels of heaven, nor the Son, no one but the Father." The Gospel of the Lord. This Gospel is often referred to as apocalyptic, the genre of apocalyptic writings, because of its dramatic effects. You can almost visually see what this word is saying. But what is important to understand is two things. One, that it is a fantastic good news. Really. These incredible words. He is near. He. At the very gates, at your door, the door of your life. This reading, first of all, is a beautiful good news. Second, it has to do with your history, with your situation today, with our history. And what he's saying is that there will be moments in our life where we will experience a time of distress, a time of suffering. Maybe that's exactly where you are. Maybe last week you and your wife or your husband have been living through a time of distress, a time of tribulation. Distress here means suffering, oppression, anxiety. And in this time, what is happening is that the point of reference of our life, the sun, the moon, the stars, these are not just physical, beautiful elements. They are, in the ancient times, they were the point of reference, things that you would expect to be there. The sun you would expect to be bright, the moon you would expect to grow, the stars you would expect to tell you where you are. That is, these things, it can be moments of our life where things that we expect to be there, they are not there anymore. Maybe your desire to pray, maybe is gone. Or maybe the moon, in the sense that brightness, gentle brightness in the night, that consolations in the night of your soul, in the night of your affections, that gentle consolation is gone. And the stars, the things that used to guide your life, maybe the people, maybe a spiritual director, maybe your father, your mother have died. Or maybe suddenly you feel alone. Maybe you were used to turn to your parents for direction or to turn to someone, and they are not there, they can't guide you. your catechist, I don't know. All these sun and moon and stars, they represent everything that in our life we expect to be permanent. We expect to be always there to guide me. And there can be moments of our life, in the priestly life, and even in the life of the church, where the securities go. Even in the time of the church, the security of a certain role of the church, the certain light, brightness, can disappear. And the powers in heaven will be shaken. That is, our life, the foundations, the ground shakes. The securities shake. What happens there? This is incredible good news. When these things happen in your marriage, in my priesthood, in our community, in the church, and then, in the middle of this, shaking, of this turmoil, and this collapse of securities, in there, then you will see the Son of Man with glory and power. That is, in the middle of that reality that you're living in your marriage, in the middle of that distress, in the middle of that disorientation, confusion, fear, this is the reverse of creation. This is going back to chaos, disorder, darkness. In the middle of that, you will see Him. You will see Him. That is, in that situation, He will reveal His face. He will reveal His glory. He will reveal His power. And that creates a unity. He will send the angels to gather His chosen from the four winds. At that moment, what seems a disintegration of our life, He will create unity. He will bring things together. He will give an order to our life. He will give a meaningfulness to our life. And that's why He speaks of this incredible example of the fig tree. When we suffer, when you suffer, when I suffer, when things in our life they lose the point of reference, when we are afraid of what's going to happen, when we don't know where to go, it is the fig tree that begins to be soft. Is when the branches of the fig tree, they begin to be full of that sap, and the leaves appear, and you know that summer is near, that is the fig tree is coming, the figs, that is the sweetness, the incredible sweetness. And for Israel, the fig tree means the promised land. The fig tree for Israel means the land that God promised them, that is milk and honey, sweetness, joy, but not anymore coming from our securities, not anymore coming from our plans, or from depending on others, or from security. He will come from Him. He is near, at the gates. He is near you, near me, at our door, and He wants to bring the promises, the sweetness, summer, a time of joy with Him. And this will necessarily pass through a time of purification, a time of spoliazione, a time of when everything that is not of His, we need to take it off. All the securities, all this will be an undressing of the old man until He comes and reveals Himself, and we are so close to Him that we can begin to be one with Him. See you next Sunday for the great solemnity of Christ the King. God bless you.